Hey there, and welcome. So let's jump right into this really cool economic puzzle, one you've probably lived through 1,000 times without even thinking about it. It all comes down to why we get super excited about some sales and completely ignore others.
I mean, really think about it. You see headphones are 50% off and you're already grabbing your keys, right? It feels like a can't-miss deal. But if table salt is half price, you'd probably just shrug. What's the deal with that? Well, there's a powerful economic concept that explains this perfectly.
And here it is. The big idea is called price elasticity of demand. Now, I know it sounds a little bit stuffy and academic, but it's actually super simple. It's just a way to measure how much our buying habits change when a price changes. It's a secret key to solving our whole headphones versus salt mystery.
Honestly, the best way to get this is to think of a rubber band. If demand is elastic, it's super stretchy. A small tug on the price causes a huge stretch in how many people want to buy it. But if demand is inelastic, that rubber band is stiff. You can pull and pull on the price, but the demand barely moves an inch.
So this whole stretchiness thing, it's not just an on or off switch. It's actually a whole spectrum, and economists have broken it down into 5 main categories. Let's walk through them, going from the stiffest rubber band you can imagine all the way to the stretchiest.
We're going to start at one extreme end of the scale, where the elasticity value, which economists call EP, is a big fat 0. This is the absolute stiffest rubber band possible. No stretch. At all.
This is what's known as perfectly inelastic demand. It's mostly a theoretical idea, but it means that no matter how much the price goes up or down, people buy the exact same amount. Think of something like a life-saving drug. If you need it, you need it. On a graph, this looks like a perfectly vertical line, just a straight wall.
Okay, so moving on from that extreme case, we get into territory you'll see all the time in the real world. This is where the E value is more than 0, but still less than 1. This is where most of our everyday essentials live.
And this is simply called inelastic demand. Here's the deal. A price change causes a smaller reaction in how much people buy. So if the price of gasoline drops by 10%, you're probably not going to buy 10% more of it. You just don't need that much. This gives us a demand curve that's still pretty steep. Now, right in the dead center of our spectrum, we hit the perfect balancing point. This is where the elasticity value is exactly 1. Everything is perfectly proportional here.
We call this unit elastic demand. It's pretty straightforward. If the price drops by, say, 10%, the amount people want to buy goes up by, you guessed it, exactly 10%. It's a perfect one-to-one relationship.
Okay, now we're crossing the line into the fun stuff, the stretchy side of things. This is any value that's greater than 1. And yeah, this is where our headphones live.
This is elastic demand, and this is where a price change triggers an even bigger reaction from us as shoppers. That 10% discount on a new laptop might cause sales to surge by 20 or 30%. We're super sensitive to price changes for these things, which is why sales work so well. The demand curve here starts to look a lot flatter.
And that brings us to the final, most extreme end of the spectrum. This is the stretchiest rubber band you could possibly imagine, a theoretical value of infinity.
This is called perfectly elastic demand. Again, it's mostly a textbook concept, but you see it in super competitive markets. Just imagine 2 farmers selling identical ears of corn. If one farmer raises their price by even a penny, boom, everyone would just buy from the other farmer. The demand curve here is a perfectly flat horizontal line.
All right, so now we have our full economic toolkit. We know the 5 types of demand. So let's go back to our original mystery and crack this case once and for all by looking at the actual numbers for headphones and salt.
And wow, just look at this table. It tells the entire story. The elasticity for headphones is 1.8. Since that's bigger than 1, it's elastic. Now look at wheat and salt. 0.37 for wheat and a teeny tiny 0.027 for salt. Both are way, way below 1, which means they are seriously inelastic.
Let's put that into a picture. For our headphones, with that 1.8 elasticity, a 20% price drop could lead to a massive 36% jump in sales. You can literally see how much people react. That little tug on the price created a huge stretch in demand. That's elastic demand in action. Now compare that to salt. It's kind of funny, right? You could slash the price by a huge 17%, and what happens? Sales barely even twitch, not even 0.5% more. And why? Well, you only need so much salt. A big sale doesn't change your basic need for it. The demand is just stiff, unresponsive. And just like that, the puzzle is solved.
So you might be thinking, okay, that's a cool concept, but why does it really matter? Well, it matters a lot. Because whether we see it or not, elasticity is shaping the world and the economy all around us every single day.
And once you know about it, you start to see this pattern absolutely everywhere. The big, expensive things we don't strictly need right away, like TVs or new laptops, those tend to be elastic. But the staples, the things we have to buy, like rice or wheat or, salt, almost always inelastic. You can't really wait for a sale on basic food.
And this has some huge real-world consequences. Governments know that if they tax an inelastic product like gasoline, they'll make a lot of money because people will still have to buy it. And stores use elasticity to plan every single sale because they know a discount on an elastic good will bring a flood of people through the door. It really is the hidden logic behind how we all shop.
So I want to leave you with this question. Take a second and think about your own life. What are the things you'd buy no matter what the price was? Your medicine? Your coffee? Those are your inelastic goods. And what about the things you only ever buy when they're on sale? That's your elastic stuff. The answer tells you a whole lot about the difference between what you truly need and what you just want.